Well, greetings everyone, and welcome once again to another special edition of Diamonds in the Darkness. Once again, we talk about some of the things that are happening here in San Diego, some of the organizations that are out here to help our youth, and what we can do to help our city stay clean, beautiful, and just be nice to our neighbors and those that are less fortunate than we are. So let's get all our little commercial stuff out of the way here. As you can see on most social media, I am at West Coast Steeler fan. Our Cash App is $JE King 3. And with that, let's get our program started. Our first guest tonight is Mr. Chris Springer. Uh, Mr. Springer, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing wonderful. How about you, man?
Hey, man, every day above ground is a great day.
Yes, I agree. I agree.
so, uh, I came in contact with you at the Padres game, and we were talking a little bit about your organization, the House of Music. Why don't you give our audience a little background on the House of Music, how it started, what your history, and your aims and goals.
Right. Well, born and raised in San Diego, and I was I had a radio show on Jazz 88.3 FM here in San Diego for about 20 years, and it was Latin grooves, one of the most popular shows for many many years here. And I always had this vision about helping the community and giving back to kids and in Latin music and salsa music and Cuban music and this music that I genre that I played on the radio. And my vision was to teach these kids music. And I didn't know how it was going to form, but then once I started, getting into the years in my radio show, I noticed that a lot of the great artists were dying off, and nobody was coming back to fill in. So I was like, how can I promote what I want to do and give back to the community? So I had this vision of starting a music program to underserved youth. And in 2019, with the grace of God and my wife, who is she's an entrepreneur and she's in the corporate world, so she knows how to start companies. And she said, if you really want to do this, I'll show you how to do it. So she set the foundation with a board, with a mission, and we started going pre-COVID. And the mission of the House of Music is to serve kids through music, um, teach to read and write, and to learn this art form of Latin percussion. And you stay with us like a school year, and we give you brand new instrument as your graduation gift. But you got to stay with the program, and it's a unique program because I noticed too that in the San Diego City schools, music and art was taken out. That was completely taken out. And I'm like, you know how are we going to do this? And then COVID hit. It kind of slowed us down a little bit, and then we just got moving, and we started at East County Transitional Living Center, teaching Latin percussion class on Saturday. And currently today we're at the Monarch School, which is the only homeless school in the nation, kindergarten through 12th grade. And now we are in multiple areas, and we're about to.
Well, pardon me. What kind of school did you say that was?
It's a homeless school. It's called the
Okay.
Monarch School, and it's
Okay.
the only homeless school in the nation, kindergarten through 12th grade.
Yeah, because
And yeah, it's in Logan Heights. And
okay.
so these are the at-risk youth that we're trying to get to.
Well, I understand that coming from sort of that background myself, and making some very um, not so great choices in my youth. Uh, and So, if I'm one of those individuals, how do I get in touch with you? How do I find out about your program? Uh,
Well, unfortunately, with our program, we're not open to the public. We team up with other community partners, other nonprofits like Father Joe's. We're going to be starting
Okay.
there real soon. The Rescue Mission, the
Okay.
Monarch School, East County Transitional Living, formerly homeless kids. We're trying to target a certain youth. Eventually, we're going to get in the school systems here in San Diego where it can be open to the public, and we could be at all the schools if if we do this right. So right now, we're targeting a certain youth because you're right. We as a growing up in our families from Logan Heights, and there's not a lot of choices kids can make, and we want to get back into these communities and give these kids a choice where, because our program is free, they don't have to pay nothing. We self-fund our program by working. That's where you met us, working at the Padres. And when you worked and helped us that day, the money that we made that day, it goes to our organization. Every game we work, the Padres give us a donation to the organization. So that's why we are a self-funded, and we try to get out there. We don't ask for grants. We don't ask for money through corporations. We try to get out there and do it ourselves. And then we have like I said, my wife Kathy is our board chair and our CEO, and she runs this organization like a for-profit. We can stay stable and be able to pay our musicians and keep the music program going. Because as you know, James, music instruments are really expensive, and to be able to give each kid an instrument to keep, it takes a lot. And so far so good, and we're going to keep working on our mission.
So, is there a follow up for these kids after they go through your program?
Of course, you start off as a beginner, but you don't have to leave the program. Now we take you to intermediate, and you can keep growing with us. And also, what I do is every year we have a big fundraiser music festival that's happening Sunday, May 28th at Liberty Station. It's called Festival del Caribe, the Festival of the Caribbean. So, being in the music business over 20 years, I have relationship with Grammy Award winning artists that travel the world. So we're bringing in the top group from Cuba, the top group from New York and Puerto Rico and LA. And we're doing a music festival on that Sunday, May 28th, to raise money to buy instruments for the kids. So what we do is we're preparing these kids right now to perform at our music festival. So the kids at the Monarch School will perform. The kids at East County Transitional Living Center will perform in front of thousands of people. So that, you talk about a boost of confidence and wanting them to be back. It was so funny. Last year, we rented the Rady Shell where the San Diego Symphony plays, and the kids were about to perform on stage in front of 3,000 people. They were scared, and I said, "Come on, you got this." We prayed, and they went on stage and just killed it, and they were awesome. And then after the show, they looked at us and they go, "I'm sad." And I said, "Why are you sad?" Because we're not going to see you no more. I said, "What? You better be at class on Saturday. We're not stopping." It doesn't stop. As long as you want to stay in with us, you can stay with us. We could take you all the way through high school, college if it was necessary. So it doesn't stop. There's your answer. They can keep going and keep coming back every year, all year, as long as they want to learn, and we'll teach them.
So now we spoke about the Padres game. What do you do after the Padres season is over?
I work at the House of Music 24 hours a day, every day. What happened was with my local radio show here at KSDS Jazz 88.3 FM, unfortunately, I was let go during COVID. I lost my 20 plus year job playing this music on the radio, but it led me to the House of Music. And now I work on the House of Music. It's my only job that I work on now. And as you see, working at the Padres and Snapdragon Stadium, raising money for the organization.
Do you have some outstanding students, that go on to play professionally?
We're only in our second 2.5 years in, but we have one that's little Isabella, man. She's going to be 7 years old, and she started when she was 5.5. And last year she stole the show in front of 3,000 people. She is a bongo player, and she's been at every class. She's the one of the few, and that's all we're looking for. At least one kid that we can make turn that into the next Sheila E. or somebody, you know. And in fact, tomorrow, Fox 5 Television is going to be live at our music school in East County, and they're doing a story about us and the House of Music that's going to run nationally on TV. It's really exciting. And little Isabella is going to be there, and they're probably going to interview her. So, yeah, it's exciting stuff.
Okay. So we know that this is a city where you can get into nefarious activities very quickly.
Oh, yeah.
And there's also a certain amount of peer pressure that's also involved. But as speaking from someone that knows a little bit about the background, can you tell me what is unique about your program other than the music? Because this is very fascinating, because a lot of people teach music, but do you also teach the kids how to read music, how to read notes and whatnot?
Yes. Yes.
We have a lot of improv musicians, but we don't have. My brother was one of them.
Yes, they call it playing by ear and not being able to read. So
he learned how to play chords.
Yeah,
and then he could play whatever he wanted to on.
But he must have had a good ear. Because you got to be able to do that. And yes, we do teach them to read and write, but also going back to what you're trying to get at here. I come from these areas that you're talking about. Kathy is from Southeast and Paradise Hills, where all this stuff used to happen, gangs and drugs. We've all been through all of this ourselves. So a lot of people, when you come out of that situation, and you get probably as yourself, they want to get out of the hood, get out of the barrio, they call it in Spanish, and they don't want to go back. The difference with us is we want to go back because we want to inspire these kids. We know what it is to live that life. We know what it is to go to do what we did. And there wasn't a lot of choices. There was a lot of peer pressure, like you said. And it's tough to be able to have to stay in the house and not be able, not go out because of your neighborhood and pressures and drugs and all that stuff that goes along with what happens in the hood. So our mission now is to go back into these areas, and we mentor also some kids from San Diego High School that it's just turning into a beautiful thing, that are juniors and seniors at San Diego High that are trying to get into college. So it's about a mentorship too with some of these kids, and it's not just about the music. Yes, it's 100% the music, but we're trying to teach them confidence and doing good in school. Here's a story about one kid in East County. He was from Russia, couldn't speak English, very shy, very quiet. Now he comes to class, he's laughing, he's smiling, he speaks English, and he's playing the rhythms. Confidence. This is what these kids need. They need a direction, besides music. We're doing it with music, but there's so much more about life that these kids, show them that there's hope,
Well, not just hope. My biggest problem when I was a youth was trust. Finding someone that I could trust, finding someone that, that I felt safe, not in the sense of, like providing a house or something like that, but somewhere where I could go and mentally just be safe.
Yep. It's so true. What you just nailed it right there, James. That's the first thing that we have to do with these kids is gain their trust. And once we have that, we got them. And that's what's so beautiful about it. A lot of kids at the Monarch School, they're not worried about their grades. They want to know, when was the last time you ate? When was the last time you took a shower? You know what I'm saying? So gaining that trust with a kid that's been let down all his life, it's so true, James. And that's where once we gain that trust now, when they see us, they know what they're getting. We have no, we're it's only about the kids, man. That's all that we're really caring about. It's like that's the joy that we're getting out of this. So, we're on a mission to help out in this way.
Yes, and music is international. I mean, that's one way you can reach everyone. Even they might not be into your particular genre, but it's somewhere to have a beginning.
Of course, James. And another thing, yeah, we teach Latin music, but I grew up on R&B, hip hop. So I can tell you all about we want to expand into those other areas too, because like I said, R&B, hip hop, jazz. I played jazz before I played Latin on the radio. So going back to my parents when they were as Hispanic parents, and they're listening to Miles Davis and Charlie Parker and Frank Sinatra and
Sounds like
all.
you were at my house. You sure
Yeah,
you were?
yeah. I'm in middle school listening to Freddie the Freeloader, and these type of music. I loved music from a very young age. So I was lucky my parents and the showing me of like Donny Hathaway and Stevie Wonder and this type of music to jazz and all that. And it's really odd because as a Latin family, they don't listen to that. I didn't listen to Mexican music. I listened to jazz and I was listening to Latin and I was listening to R&B and all that music. And that's where the love of music, where I got it from.
So, how long have you been playing yourself?
I've managed bands and I played a little bit of percussion, but I really don't play. But like your brother, I have that ear. I have
Okay.
that ear, and I know I don't do a lot of music with local musicians. We tend to work with Grammy Award winning international artists in all the genres that we work with. So, to make the money that we're trying to earn for these kids and to buy instruments, it takes a lot. So those are the ones that sell the tickets, or the Grammy Award winning artists. They got them names, but yeah, the music is everything to me. And if it wasn't for music, I probably wouldn't even be here right now myself.
Yeah. Speaking of my little brother, not to take any of your thunder away because I'm talking about the House of Music now, but he has a very similar program in LA where he teaches kids music. He's a keyboard artist, and he has a similar program that started, of course, during COVID when everything was happening. So post COVID, how are things going?
It's going actually pretty well, pretty well. It started off, slow because of, we had to we had to clean the conga drums. We were wearing masks. We had to spread everybody apart. And we just had to be really careful with, and then, there'd be weeks where we couldn't come and do classes with the kids because there'd be a COVID outbreak at the school or there'd be a COVID outbreak at the center. So, those were the challenges during COVID and post COVID that were still happening, but pretty much now it's game on. And what's wonderful, not that I care about awards, like last year we got nominated for nonprofit event of the year, the one we did at the Rady Shell. We were finalists and we lost to the Pride Festival, which is pretty big, millions of dollars and millions of people, and it's okay. But
Yeah, I
we're
live
starting
here in I live here in University Heights. That's one of the biggest. I mean, I'm right next to Hillcrest. That's one. Yeah,
right. So what that is, and that's who we lost to for our nonprofit event of the year by the San Diego Business Journal, and that's okay. We're in this to what our mission is, but the fact is, other organizations are recognizing us, and they're seeing a need for it in all our city, and that's where we have to, strategically plan this out right, so we can afford to be able to do throughout San Diego, which that's the game plan.
Well, the most important thing to me is that we are helping children. We are helping kids become adults in the right way.
Yeah.
And organizations such as yours and others that have sprung up have actually, I think, made a difference. Because from my meeting you and experiences with you. I mean, I don't address you as, Chris Springer, PhD, MMA. I mean, there's not a whole bunch of letters behind your name, and to me, I, I, I don't want you to take this, badly, but to me, you're just Chris. I mean,
That's
you're
what I
a
want
man,
to do.
you're a man that wants to make a difference.
That's it, man. I don't need all that stuff. I didn't, get a college degree and barely made it through high school. But you know what? It doesn't matter. It's what we're doing now. My wife's the same way. She got a GED and she won San Diego Business Woman of the Year through COVID in 2020. She's put, big companies together. And you can't get that in school. These type of experiences that we've had, including yourself. I look at it as getting two educations from the street and from schooling, what little schooling I've gotten. And I don't want a PhD. I don't need all that, man. I don't need all that. And James, we're all the same, man. We're just regular guys trying to make it happen.
Yes, sir. So, uh, what do you have coming up this week? You mentioned the festival coming up at the end. Is it
Well,
the end?
it's
Is
May
it this
28th.
Sunday?
Yeah. The first thing's coming up is the Padres. We got to get back working this week. We got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then the weekend. And then we're working a concert. Jason Mraz and
The Padres are back tomorrow, right?
Padres are back Monday. They're in Mexico City. They'll be back
Oh,
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then they got the weekend with the LA Dodgers. And then, but we are preparing for our festival that's happening on Sunday, May 28th at Liberty Station. It's a holiday weekend, so a lot of people have Monday off, I hope, and we just want to get the word out there to go visit our website, and you can see the work we're doing with the kids. And if you want to purchase tickets for our Festival del Caribe, which will be happening on Sunday, May 28th, we have the ticket links there. You could just see who's on our board.
give us
Visit
your
our
website. Give us your website address.
thehouseofmusic.org. And you could see our mission. You can see the videos of the kids. You can see our classes. You can donate. You can just visit our website, and there's a lot there to see. You could buy tickets for our festival, but just to see what we're trying to get accomplished here, thehouseofmusic.org. And if you want to email me, it's chris@thehouseofmusic.org. If you have any questions or want to reach out, and yeah.
All right. Well, hey, Chris, it was great talking with you. Great learning about your organization. I'll be with you at least 2 of those days, Monday and Tuesdays, Tuesday or Wednesday, one of those. I'll try to get there as much as I can.
And by the way, James, not to interrupt you, you did a great job helping us that one day you worked. So, and I know you were tired, man, because that work is not easy, but you did a great job. And again, thank you for, coming out like you did. And yeah, we could use all the help because we need volunteers, to help us to finish that, because we're at Snapdragon Stadium, the new stadium in Mission Valley also. So we work all the Aztec games. We do all the concerts, and both stadiums, we have contracts with them. So we're always looking for volunteers. Hit us up at the House of Music if you want to volunteer. That's another way of helping out this organization.
Yeah, I haven't been to Snapdragon Stadium since it's been renamed. Yeah, I'll be glad to help around down there too. Ex-line cook, ex-chef. So yeah, it was kind of right in my wheelhouse there, and always glad to help out. So
you know how the line is.
yes, sir, and I know what it means to have that line backed up too. So I don't. So I understand. Efficiency, the whole 9 yards. So thank you so much for coming on tonight and being on our show. As I said, I look forward to working with you and maybe having some of the kids on the show. Anything that I can do to help you advance your mission.
I appreciate you, James, and thank you for all what you're doing too.
Well, thank you very much, Chris, and I enjoyed talking with you, and hope we can do it again soon.
You got it, brother. I'll see you.
You have a great night.
Too.
My next guest is one of the members of uh, the San Diego group, along with Stephen Fong. And let's bring, okay. Uh, okay. I see JC, so should I address you as JC or Jesus?
Just Jesus. Jesus.
Oh, all right. How you doing this evening, my man?
I'm good. How about yourself?
Hey, as I always say, any day above ground is a very good day. So I'm
No,
great.
no, for sure, for sure.
Yeah. Um, I wanted to talk to you a little bit because you're new to the group since the last time that I had seen Stephen and went out and helped the guys.
Yeah.
And Stephen was telling me a little about you, um, but I don't want to make any presumptions, so I'm going to ask you a little bit about your background. And this is, I guess you want to call it a safe space. Uh, you know, I got four numbers, so there's nothing that you can say that's gonna, make me feel one way or the other.
Yeah.
I understand, being locked up. I understand coming out and not having that foundation that you need. So tell us a little bit about JC.
Um. Well, my name is Jesus Coda, and I'm from a little town. I'm saying, in the Central Coast, uh, Salinas. I'm saying, Monterey County. It's kind of like in the middle between the Bay Area, Central California, between Bakersfield and Northern California, the Northern California line, right? And I've been in the system. I've been in group homes, CYA, prison. I got a YA number. I got 5 prison terms. Um, luckily I only kept a CDC number and a CDC number and a new CDC number and then a YA number. So I was always a violator with a new beef. I was a young kid, gang banging, doing whatever I needed to do to follow in my big brother's footsteps. You know what I mean? But what the trip is that I didn't have the crazy lifestyle. I didn't have the I didn't come from a troubled past where my family was left us astray or whatever. We just came from a family that broke their backs for us. You know
I'm a
they
preacher's kid, man. I know exactly.
no, well, that's crazy. It's crazy you say that because I told Chris that I'm a pastor's kid too. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm a pastor's brother as well. So I come from a long line. My godfather and what I'm saying was a pastor. I grew up in the church. It was kind of forced down my throat in a sense. I never
Yes.
truly
Yes.
understand the value of it until I got older. Once I got older, then I was like, oh, that's what it is. That's what it means to be, saved or slain in the spirit or, like I seen it, but see, House of Music really, really caught my attention because when I seen the organization, um, House of Music really caught my attention because I know what it is for my dad to be a young pastor and to go take a city, right? But he needs somebody to lead worship. So my brother is one of the best keyboardists, what I'm saying, pianist, whatever you want to say, with all genres of music. If he hears it, he could play it. If he sees it, he could read it and play it. And my dad needed a worship service. You know what I'm saying? He needed to start somewhere, right? One Sunday. So what he did was he locked me and him in the church, and he told us, "Hey, uh, you're gonna learn the drums. He's gonna play the keyboard, and you guys are gonna put a worship team together." And so that's what we did. We sat in there from the morning to the night, and we got it together. We put together 3-4 different songs, and I learned a really basic beat on the drums, and he taught me a basic beat. I didn't know how to learn music, but gradually, you know what I'm saying, we came together and we led worship in more ways than one. But I never understood it. I wasn't done with the lifestyle. Um, And so I got caught up in the system. I got caught up in the system. Well, he went on to do, you know what I'm saying, other things, and and so yeah, I went from I ended up going to CYA, California Youth Authority. From I went to Adobe Mountain in Arizona. I got busted for stealing cars, carrying guns. Then when I came back to Salinas, I did the same thing. I was in the car, guns, gang banging, didn't know any better. So the cops asked me what my intentions were with firearms, and so I told them, and so I told them that I was willing to kill a gang member, any person that came in my way, rival, dropout, whatever, and I told them my name, my AKA, but I didn't know that in reality I was making their case for them, and that's what I did. I made their case for them. They gave me gang enhancements, all this other stuff. Everything that I tell you guys today on the show can be backed up through all this. This is my full history, whatever. No, but at the same time, I'm not proud of it, but that's what I did, and I went on a journey to grow. While my brother was growing within the ministry, I was growing. I was making my way, and I was involved in gang politics. I was involved with street regiments, with street functions. I was able to come out as a man. I went in as a kid. I came out as a somewhat of a man in my eyes within the street lifestyle. Uh, and I went on to sacrifice for something that was already established that never had anything to do with me. You know what I mean? And but in a lot of ways, I was willing to put myself on the line and put my family on hold for that cause and that struggle. You know, that ended me up in from San Quentin to Pelican Bay to Soledad, Salinas Valley, Delano, Wasco. Um, I got my CDC numbers V97261. My Y number was 87857, and it sucks because I learned those numbers, and my new number is BC9636. And what sucks is that I knew those numbers firsthand before my social security number that would allow me to get a job and be a productive member in society. You know what I mean? And
Well,
then
I can kind of parallel your story because
oh,
the first two times that I went to the penitentiary, I considered it college. I went there to learn my craft. I went there to
oh
learn
sure.
from the old heads. I went there to learn from the OGs.
Yeah,
When I got on that third turn, then I started thinking like, I don't want to die
yeah.
here. This is not where I want to take my last breath. And then
But
when they passed the 3-strike law and I already had 4 strikes,
right.
then I
Well,
became a chef. So
yeah.
that way I was able to use my creativity, my hustle, all those street things, that street knowledge I had. I found somewhere where I could put them. I wasn't as fortunate as some of you guys that could play music, but I learned how I could decorate a plate and
Oh,
get paid for it. So but the thing that I found out is that if we take that same initiative and that same hustle that we had when we were in the street and put it into productive activity, we can be great. The thing of it, the most important thing is that we have to find something that satisfies that need, satisfies that itch, that constant scratch, of living on the edge. And I think that's the thing. As you get older and you realize that you don't want to live on the edge of that razor, and so coming down here, is that what you're looking for? That stable factor that can possibly change your life, or at least make a difference where you feel that you can make a difference.
well. See, in the beginning, I was selfish. I didn't care about nothing. Um, I, 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 I just wanted to further my status within my neighborhood, and I didn't really care about coming down south. I didn't care about nothing but Northern California. But however, um, when I received the term on this last one, right? Because I know what you're talking about with Prop 36 and Prop 47, Prop 57, all these new laws that are taking place, whatever, right? But what they fail to realize and tell you is that there's a catch to all that. There's a catch. If you have a high risk violence level or whatever, they're going to deny you all the way around. Then you got to go through the courts and do all this other stuff. But that's a whole nother story, right? It's probably a whole nother interview. But so what ended up happening with me, what was my major epiphany or my major like aha moment, right? Was that this whole time I had been neglecting all those that were really there for me from day one, that were really there for me, you know what I'm saying, as my foundation, as my motivation, as everything. That was my family. You know what I mean? So I got busted this last term, right? They gave me 12 years, 8 months, right? For I was taking cars, trucks, SUVs, boats, motorcycles, anything. If I could take it and they could sell it, then I was taking your shit. You know what I'm saying? And that went from the Oregon border all the way down to the Mexican border. You know what I mean? And I was fortunate that they didn't catch me going over the border or whatever the case may be, whatever, right? Um, and when I received this time, there was a time in my term where I went and told my brother, I went and told my mom, I wrote them and I said, you know what? Um, you don't need to write me. I know it gets old. You know what I'm saying? I understand. I know you going and spending money and taking time out of your days, out of your guys' life to write me or pick up my calls or any of that stuff. Like there was a point where I was like, you know what, like it's good. Like you guys don't have to waste your money no more. Like I guess this is just what it is for me. You know what I'm saying? I went to my face. I went and started getting into fights and selling drugs or whatever in while I was incarcerated and but you know what? They never gave up on me. They kept writing me. They ignored those letters and they kept writing. They kept showing support. They kept doing it, and that's what was my moment to say, you know what? I'm doing all this stuff, but I've been neglecting the ones that have truly been there for me and supported me no matter what. It didn't matter if the judge said that I was. It didn't matter if the judge said that I was a menace to society and there's no hope for me and I'm a habitual criminal and I got 3 strikes and all this other stuff, right? It didn't matter. But in their eyes, they were like, you know what? We believe in you when you don't even believe in yourself. And one thing about Chris and Steven is that when my thing was that I read their thing and I said, you know what? I love music. I love their cause. I love their thing. They're nonprofits and I took so much from society. And when I had that epiphany, I said I came down here for that specific reason. I told my brother, I said, you know what? My brother turned his life all the way around, so I seen that it was possible. I seen that he could buy. They have a house with a family. You know what I'm saying? With him, his wife, his kids, everything, right? And I said, you know what? It's time for me to grow up. It's time for me to snap out of it. And I got my wife now, and I got, and I got my daughter that I'm still trying to establish my relationship with. Um, but at the same time, I said, you know what? I'm going to come out here, and I took so much from the community already. I took so much property. I caused so much havoc. Um, Still to this day, I have my moments. I have my moments where they based on the way I look, there's still people that cross the street or whatever. They think that I'm a big, intimidating type of dude or whatever. But in reality, man, I'm just like anybody else. And 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 at first, I'm pretty sure they were kind of skeptical when I said, hey, I reached out to them. I said, you know what, I'm willing to donate my time to you guys. I'm not tripping. I just don't need an idle mind. You know what I'm saying? I don't need an idle mind. I came out here with, okay, bam, my foundation is set. I need to come out here. I need to be productive. I need to donate, whether it's donating my time, whether it's working, whether it's being part of an organization, whether it's being part of a nonprofit. I love music. My brother loves music. We come from a Christian background. I said, you know what? Hey, this is what it is. I want to dive into this full force, and I'm going to work. You know what I'm saying? As hard as it was, whether I was getting paid thousands of dollars, whether I was getting paid a cent, whether I was getting paid nothing, I was going to come and donate my time because I've already took from society more than what.
Remember making that 12 cents an hour for the Department of Corrections?
Oh, you mean like it's more like one or two now? Like I did all that. Like I worked crazy stuff in the from the kitchen, from the fire crews to I've been in fire camp. I've been I know what it is to even come and work back breaking, sun burning. You know what I'm saying? Work on the yard crew for an extra lunch and a thank you. You know what I'm
there
saying?
You go. Hey, I guess things haven't changed much.
now they're like, oh, we're passing these laws, and they're like, oh shit. But I'm still over here, you know what I'm saying, blistering. You know what I'm saying? You can't even see me because I'm turning darker than my tattoos type stuff. You know what I'm saying? And all they're saying is, hey, thank you. You guys are lucky we brought you out during the lockdown, or you know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, okay, cool, whatever. It's the same. Like they could pass whatever laws they want, they could do whatever they want, but at the same time, when it comes down to CDC, it's like if it makes sense, they're not going to do it, you know. And it happens, and it's like, but they don't tell us all is that they run all these laws and all these crazy stuff and enhancements and all this stuff, but there's always that gray area, or there's always that, you know what I'm saying, there's always that something, that catch to it, you know what I mean? And that's cool, whatever. I just knew that this time I needed to make my outdate because I've already caught enough time when they already gave me enough time for crimes, that nonviolent crimes, that people were getting felony probation, you know what I'm saying, year county jail, and a program for it. You know what I'm saying? And they're cutting these people loose, but because I have 3 strikes, you know what I'm saying, 1 juvenile, 2 adult violent strikes, they're like, oh well, by the way, you're not eligible.
Right.
Whoa, right.
Right.
How am I not eligible? What do you mean? I check mark all the boxes. When I was in custody, like my first years, of course, you know what I'm saying, I was fucking up. I got batteries, I got riots, I got batteries with force, like either with weapons, drugs, whatever, like drug sales or whatever, distribution within the institution, whatever, all that, right? I had all that. But then when it came down to my last couple of years, I said, you know what, I'm gonna give. I feel that I owe it to myself and I owe it to my family to really dive in here full force and be productive, to give this a real chance, because I never gave the legit lifestyle a chance, because I was used to cutting corners. I was used to calling up whoever, and I could bring them from miles away.
Yeah.
I could bring them to assist me because I need that assistance. If I need a ride to go over here and over there, I could call whoever, and they're gonna come.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they knew at the time, they knew the consequences if they didn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's deep to me, because it's like, man, like I never knew I would be like that. I understood the gravity of it, but I didn't understand the whole, you know what I'm saying, the other side of it. And
the thing of it is that we have to want to change.
Exactly.
Because we already know and we're comfortable in that lifestyle and out there in the street. We're very comfortable. We can wear it like an overcoat, like a t-shirt. We're comfortable there. When you go to a different place, then you start feeling uncomfortable. You start questioning yourself because you don't have that experience. So you spoke of your epiphany and whatnot. Yeah. And I found, and I'm not saying that this is you or, but I found that a lot of guys that when they first come out,
right,
They really want to change. They really want to change.
But then they don't.
But there's a reason why also. Because, like you said, there's those obstacles that they put in front of you.
Right,
You,
right, right.
you check every box, but yet and still you can't get in. So a lot of guys get discouraged,
Right.
and they don't realize that this is hard work. I
Right,
don't
right.
care. I don't care what you did in this. This is hard work when you're coming from that background to this background, because in the jungle there are no rules.
Right, right, right. But see, you're right. In the jungle, there may not be no rules, right? But there always is a hierarchy, right?
Well, there's a pecking order. Yeah,
Exactly.
there's always a difference between the lions
Right.
and the lambs.
And the one
But
thing, and the one thing that always, right, shines above the rest, right, is actions, not just words, actions. So I could have came out here, right? I could have came out here to the streets after all these different terms, all these different experiences, right? And I could have talked a good one. I could have talked. You guys could have been like, yeah, all right, cool. I could have made it sound cool, right? But I didn't. I even with me, it's like but I've always been a person of action, right? And one thing that could stand above everything else is that even me donating my time, that's what I went in there knowing. I went in there knowing that I was going to donate my time to a certain cause and to a people that called me and needed my assistance. So I came out here and I did it. Not just on the first day, not just one day. I did it every single day that it was needed, and I signed up for every single day after that. And I have worked my ass off every single minute and enjoyed it. Why? Because that's what living is all about. I know what it is to be on rock bottom. I know what it is to live rock bottom. I know what it is to be the foundation of rock bottom and lead rock bottom. You know what I'm saying? Because that's my comfort zone. Because I thrive in those type of atmospheres. But if you take myself and put me in a position that I am in right now, I'll tell you like this lifestyle and living is way more satisfying than all this other shit that you got going on in there. All these other politics, all these other things where it's just like, oh, we put you in a cage to shower. I've been on level 4, 180 yards. I've been on yards where they cuff you, where you have to hold, where you have to strip out just to shower. You have to hold the tray slot with your hands until I cuff you, and then I'm going to escort you and hold you by your arm like a kid and set you in that shower, and I will uncuff you and tell you when you could shower, how you could shower. Matter of fact, I'm going to give you a razor or clippers because we feel that you're not allowed to use this. I'm going to give you what I want to give you. And if these clippers ain't working, well, oh wow, then grow a beard. You know what I'm saying? I know what it is to be in all those type of predicaments and all those type of situations enough that I've been one of the fortunate ones to not do a life sentence, right? But given the opportunity to come back out here. And when I came back out here, I told myself, I told my family, I told my mother, I told everybody, I told my wife, I said, you know what? I'm going to come out here and I'm going to give this a chance. And yeah, I just may have came back out, but at the same time, I could have just overlooked all this other shit too. I could have overlooked these organizations. I could have cared less about any of this stuff, but I chose to make it a choice because nowadays we all have the power of choice. We see it every day on the news and all this other stuff, right? People protesting, causing ruckus, doing all this stuff. I had the choice to come and be part of these and give my time, my effort to you guys, so that I could show you guys that this is what I'm real about. You know what I'm saying? And that's what my see. It's my choice to change. It's my choice to live. It's my choice to work, even if it's just for a pat on the back. You know what I'm saying? What if a good game? You know what I'm saying? You know, like whatever the case may be. If hey, thank you, good job. I appreciate you. But you know what? That's cool because I earned that. You know what I mean? Like I earned that. I came in there and busted my ass, sweated, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. Probably even feel some like what's it called, that because I'm a big dude, right? So that chapness that you feel, you know what I'm saying, if you just go back and forth, dummy, you know what I mean, that brag breaking work. But I sat in that car and I told my brother, I said, you know what, man, I did that shit. You know what I'm saying? Nobody else. I did that shit. And I'm cool. I'm done with the lifestyle. I'm done with being prison terms or whatever. I'm gonna give this number back. I have not gave a number back. I have never gave a number back, Holmes. I would probably say since what, 98. I never had a birthday out here on the streets since 98. You know what I'm saying? And it's time. I got to see my nieces go hide Easter eggs and find Easter eggs. You know what I'm saying? I got to experience that this last weekend. I got to experience Marine World. I think that's like the best place on earth now. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't doing that shit in there. If anything, you're asking, you know what I'm saying? You're calling a guard. If you can you please unplug my toilet? You know what I'm saying? Because there's a case on that thing. You know what I'm saying? So
Hey,
everything,
man,
you know what I mean?
like I said, it sounds to me like things haven't changed. But so,
Yeah.
how long have you been down here, and where are you living now?
I'm over here. I'm in Spring Valley, right? And I only been down here about 2 weeks. I've been down here about 3 weeks now.
Okay.
I only been out. I only been out about 4, maybe now. Almost about to be 4. I just
Okay.
barely got out. But at the same time, it's like I came out here with the mission and knowing that I'm not going back. It's a wrap. I'm gonna do something. You know, I'm
Yeah.
gonna do something. I know what it is to be all this other stuff. I know what it is to be talked about in a sense of like, oh well, yeah, we do. I was never gonna be that guy that was gonna say, you know what, I'm a product of my own environment. You know what I'm saying? No, I am what I make myself to be. Did I go in there and waste my time? My when I seen all these OGs that you used to be able to look for and look towards to step your craft up within the criminal lifestyle. Yeah, at one point in time, it was about that life. It was, I could look to them and be like, you know what, I got you guys. Oh damn, you guys are showing me. But now it's like times changed. You look at OGs and you're like, damn, that's what you're doing. Ah, that's deep. You're more scandalous than all these other dudes. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And it's like then when you come to other spots, like you see this new generation, and it's like, man, where did you guys even come from? You know what I'm saying? They're kind of stupid. And and I learned that real quick. Like they rather go the mental health route or whatever, whatnot. Like I'm not putting down anybody that really needs the mental health programs or EOPs and all that other stuff. Hey, if you really need it, do it. But some of you guys are walking around the yards acting like you're talking to yourself, but in reality, you're just doing it because you're scared. You know what
There
I'm
you go.
saying?
There you go.
But
I
I but I
mean,
but I get it. But you didn't hesitate to go rob that old lady, or you didn't hesitate to go rob all these other people that are hardworking people within society or communities. Like I know what it is to be there, but I didn't rob them because I wanted to. I robbed them because of the predicament that I was in. It was based on survival. But even then, that wasn't even for me to decide. I was in that predicament because that was my choice. And I take
yeah. No.
responsibility for that now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, most definitely, I do feel that exactly like you do. My criminal life involved institutions, banks, credit unions, uh, large grocery stores, things of that nature.
Yeah.
I usually work twice a year. Got me in trouble a little bit, but
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, it's, the rewards are worth the effort
Hey, off out of
at that particular time. So, but yeah, man, like I'm going to be back out there this week. I had some people in from out of town, and I missed last week, but the week before I was at the Padre game. Now that
Come
they
on,
have
man.
some
You gotta
big.
do. I'm telling you, I think you need to do more than just one day. You know what I'm saying? When I heard
Oh,
that,
hey,
I was like,
hey,
what
man,
the?
like I'll be there at least if it's a weekday, and I don't have a podcast. Like I'll definitely be there. I try to support Chris, as you see. Uh, Stephen, with his project, I Clean San Diego.
Yeah, I took
I,
part too, though. That's a good one too. But see,
yeah,
like, see, it's a trip because within the music and ICleanSanDiego, what's a trip is that I kind of came across all them by accident. So when I was in custody, I was doing behavioral training with pets, right?
okay,
With animals. We were getting them ready for the
yeah,
SPCA. I
yeah.
was in Salinas Valley State Prison, right? And so I'm
Were
on the.
you doing dogs or horses?
Now I'm doing dog. My dog's right here. I paroled on a
Okay,
Monday, and then I brought my dog with me on a Tuesday.
okay, all
I
right.
adopted him. So he's right here with me right here. He's sleeping on the beanbag or whatever. But you know what I'm saying?
What
Uh,
kind of dog is he?
he's right here.
Mixed?
He's
Is he a mixed or a different? Or
he's a Dotson Chihuahua. This is my dog
oh,
right here.
okay. Hey, man, what's going on? What's his
But
name?
his name is Diego.
Hey, that's my name, man. That's my name in Spanish. What's up? Hey, what's up, little James? Hey.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So see, he was my cellie for a month. You know what I mean? And hey, we did behavioral training for the SPCA. We got him ready to be adopted. We did that. That's what I'm saying. Like towards my last couple years of being incarcerated, I said, you know what? I'm gonna try to do these things. Try to get involved in these programs. Try to get eligible for whatever pre-release, all this other stuff. Which, of course, there's always a gray area. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And but it is what it is. But he was my he was my last dog that I was with. He made me work for it, and you know what I'm saying, in every sense of the way. And so when I got out on a Monday, I adopted him on a Tuesday. You know what I mean? But we did all that behavioral training in there, and I took part in all these different programs because that was the choice to be a part. And so I say that all that to say that so I had him. He was real dependent on me. So what's a trip is that I get here to San Diego, bam, I'm established with my brother's house, everything. They got me a spot in the back. Everything's going good. Well, we take off, right? And I just went to the store to go buy some clothes, whatever, things I need, necessities, whatever. And so he gets out the gate. He takes off. So then they told me about this neighborhood app. And the neighborhood app, everybody in the community comes together, gives people heads up if lost pets or weirdos in the area, you know what I'm saying? People committing crimes, whatever the case may be. So we put out a thing like, oh man, my wife's from Australia, so she's over there posting stuff from over there from over here, like, oh, I paid for this, and oh, it's going down, right? So it's a big thing, right? And what's a trip was it? So I'm on the site, and everybody in the community comes together, and I tell my brother, I said, man, this is crazy. Like, I didn't think that people would come together. They're in the streets with flashlights. They're taking pictures of him because he wouldn't let nobody get close to him or near him because he's dependent on me,
Right,
right,
right.
to keep him safe, or because that's what it was. We came out together. And so long story short, uh, we come straight from this other little side hustle that we're doing with the scooters thing. And we come straight over there, and bam, I call him, he comes to me, but people are in the streets with flashlights. Hey, he's over here. And they're spotting him. So I go, man, this neighborhood app is, or next door, no? Next door. It's
Next
called
door.
Next Door. And so I'm
Yeah,
like, man, this is a trip right here. And
yeah,
so I'm on there, and just based on that, I'm scrolling through there, and I see Clean Up San Diego. I seen this other like Big Brother trip, and
yeah,
I went about it, but even then they have you file all kinds of crazy
yeah,
stuff, and they don't tell you that spots were already filled and whatever, right? So I put myself out there and that's when I seen Steven. Steven says what he's doing out there and why and how is he doing it, and what the foundations that were backing him, and you know what I'm saying, like all the little things.
yeah.
And
I found Stephen on Next Door too. That's how I found him.
yeah, no, that and that's and so when and like at first I thought they were like, I don't know, I didn't know what to expect, right? And but my thing is I gotta be honest, right? So I'm very honest, and so when we do the whole little interview, he ends up calling me, right? So I reach out to him like, hey, like, well, how do I volunteer? Basically, because I took enough. I took enough from society. I took enough from the communities, and I just want to give back. I just want to, I just want to. I need to do something.
Right.
To feel, to keep that balance, to keep
Right.
that balance. Just with,
And you needed to feel like a man. You needed
yeah,
to you needed to you didn't want to,
yeah,
you're coming out into society, but still you want to be recognized as a man, not as a child or someone that
yeah,
is just coming back out. All of that was irrelevant.
yeah.
You just wanted to feel like a normal person, a normal
That's.
human being, and that was it.
I feel sometimes I gotta work. Maybe sometimes I gotta work double time because of how I look or whatever. I'm not an easy dude to approach. You know what I'm saying? I try to adopt. I try to adapt the words like like bud and pal. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it works. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I get the side eye like you know.
I
But
hear you, bro. I'm looking forward to meeting you, my man. And you,
nah, for sure. So,
you know,
but yeah, but that's what I did, and when they gave me the opportunity to come in there to the Padre Stadium, hey, it blew my mind. I never been besides the A's and the Giants, the Battle of the Bay, like down
yeah,
there, those stadiums, but being actually a part to being part of some of the functions that has that operates that machine. Oh, that's deep.
I
I
know, I know.
I was like,
And,
what, baking
and,
pizzas and hot dogs? Oh, I got this, right?
and, and you don't have to give anybody a number when you come through the door.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. No, for
you
sure,
know,
for sure.
you know,
I gotta show my
hey,
ID.
I'm Jesus. I'm James. I'm not 44367.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know.
Oh, yeah. No, for sure, for sure.
Hey, I mean, we've been through it. We make light of it, but it's really
Yeah.
a very serious thing when you think
No,
about
no, it
it.
is. But I'm telling you what, it feels good to laugh about it now, though.
I know, I know. I hear you, man. Hey,
Yeah.
man, it was good talking to you. I know you were a little apprehensive about coming on and some of the
Yeah,
questions I was going to ask
yeah.
you
No,
and stuff.
I called Chris and I was like, I don't know, hey, cool. And he's like, nah, it's good, it's good. I go, okay, cool. Because I don't know, I already got the spam. I already fell victim to spam, and you know what I'm saying, all that weird shit. So, you know,
I hear you, man. But hey, like I said, I look forward to meeting you. We can
nah,
come back on
likewise.
the program. You can talk about, after you've been there a couple months, talk about, like the progress you made.
Yeah,
Maybe, maybe Diego will be awake and,
yeah, 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 yeah.
but hey, man, it was good talking to you.
Nah,
Whenever I invite you on my show, man, it's just to have fun and to be you. I don't want
sure.
anybody else on the show. I just want you.
No,
You
but
know what I mean?
I
So,
wanted to bring light to things that you wanted to bring light to, and at the same time, I wanted to let people know that if that the organizations that the nonprofits that is out there, and the ones that we're doing within the music and Clean Up San Diego, like it's the real deal. There's pictures of us out there, like we've been out there grinding. We've been out there in the stadium, in the Padre Stadium. We've been out there, what I'm saying, cleaning up these communities with these people that are less fortunate. You know what I'm saying? And we're no better than them, because honestly, if we would have kept up the way that we were going, that would have been our future. You know what I'm saying?
a lot of us,
Same
you're
time,
right.
hey,
Yeah.
when COVID hit, you know what I'm saying, I was fortunate because I was in custody. You know what I'm saying? So really, I don't got to do shit. I just got to wake up. If I want to walk to breakfast, I'm gonna walk to breakfast. Matter of fact, it was coming straight to my tray slot. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, but if I could be there and give you some water bottles, or if I could help you, you know what I'm saying, dispose of this trash, not only am I going to help the city, I'm going to help the next person. And whether they find comfort in being there or not, these organizations are going to be there for them no matter what. And then I wanted to be part of that, and I'm going to continue to be part of that. You know what I mean? Hello?
Well, when the projects come back Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I think Chris just said. So, why don't you give us your final thoughts, my man? And it was good talking with you, and
No,
I
for sure.
appreciate your time, man.
No, and I appreciate your time. And I hope that people come out. people come out and give these organizations a try, because some of them are really doing really good things, really good things. And I'm gonna be along for the ride no matter what. And to Chris and Steven, I'm gonna help them do whatever they need to do that needs to be done. And I'm here. I'll be out there.
All right, my man. Look
All right.
forward to seeing you. You
For
have
sure.
a great night.
You too.
All
Take
right.
care.
Yeah. Oh man, talking to Jesus and talking to Stephen, just to give people some idea of what's really going on here in San Diego, and contact these organizations and make sure that you get in touch with the House of Music, get in touch with ICleanSanDiego, and let's do what's best for our community. Thank you so much, Chris and Jesus. I look forward to talking to you again soon, and we look forward to our next Diamonds in the Darkness segment. Have a great night, everyone. See you soon.